Hello, everyone, and welcome to Christ Community's weekly word. Has the Lord ever spoken to you? Maybe He has given you a word or even called you to do something. But how did you respond to the word that God gave you? Today and throughout the week, I want to look at Jonah, the prophet, and how he responded to a word given to him. Now Jonah, as we said, is a prophet. He was like the mouthpiece for the Lord. A lot of the times the prophets would be sent to issue a warning or a coming judgment, telling the people who were the recipients of the message to repent. But let's look at how Jonah responded. Jonah chapter 1, verses 1 through 3 says, "Now the word of the Lord came to Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, the great city, and call out against it, for their evil has come up before me." But Jonah rose to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. He went down to Joppa and found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare and went down into it to go with them to Tarshish, away from the presence of the Lord. So we see Jonah responded to the word given to him by fleeing or disobeying the word that God had given him. But what caused Jonah to disobey? And at times, what would cause us to disobey? Well, I know there are probably a laundry list of things that we could come up with, but in short, I think the answer would be self. Self gets in the way, or our selfishness. And it's interesting because in Matthew chapter 16, verse 24, Jesus says, "If anyone would want to come after me, let him deny himself, take up a cross, and follow me." So the first thing that Jesus tells us concerning following him or responding to him is to deny self. What does that look like? It could look like surrendering our desires. It could look like surrendering our will, or even dying to our pride. And also Matthew chapter 8, 19 and 20, a scribe came up to Jesus and said, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." And Jesus said to him, "Foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." At this point, it almost sounds like Jesus is trying to talk people out of following him, but this is not the case at all. Jesus is telling his followers, you need to count the cost. You need to see what it's going to cost and what is going to be required of you to follow or to obey me. And then Luke chapter 14, verses 31 through 33, Jesus says, "Or what king going out to encounter another king in war will not sit and first deliberate whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes with 20,000? Or if not, while the other is yet a great way off, he sends a delegation and asks for terms of peace. So therefore, anyone of you who does not renounce all that he has cannot be my disciple." So I would think that the big question here that we need to answer is Jesus worth it? So I know that the Lord has spoken to all of us. He's given all of us a word, and we have to ask ourselves, is Jesus worth obeying and surrendering our lives to? Is Jesus worth giving up everything that we have in order to follow after him? The one who left his throne in glory to come down, prepare a way for sinners like you and like me to follow after him, who died on the cross and later resurrected, and now is at the right hand of the Father. So the big question this week that we have to answer, that we have to make a resolve in our heart, is Jesus worth it? Thank you, and God bless you.